Hello, this is Connor.
Hey guys, this is Lisa, and you are listening to another B1 lesson.
Yes, we have a question. Is it hard for you to make new friends?
Well, sometimes it's not easy. And that's what our dialogue is about today, making new friends.
We have Paul and John. They are friends, but Paul doesn't have many other friends.
Yes, so John gives him some good advice. So today we're going to learn about different ways to make new friends and to talk about our opinions and personal experiences.
All right, well, let's listen to Paul and John's dialogue.
Okay, let's do that.
John, I've been here for a year and I still haven't made any friends.
Really? At university, you were always so social.
I know, but it was so easy to be social then. At work, I'm actually really shy.
You could try having more conversations with your coworkers.
They have tried to include me, but I never know what to say.
Then how about a meetup? You can meet people who share common interests with you.
Do I need to sign up to participate?
They're usually pretty informal events. I'm sure you could just show up.
I don't know. Maybe they won't like me. Maybe they'll think I'm boring.
No way. Just go and be yourself.
Okay, and we are back. So it sounds like John gave Paul some really good advice. But Paul starts this conversation and he says, John, I've been here for a year and I still haven't made any friends.
Okay, so I've been here for a year. It sounds like he moved to this place a year ago. Yeah, it's hard to make some friends. This is our grammar point, isn't it?
It is. So we call this the present perfect. I have been. And this shows that something started in the past and has continued until now.
Right. You may have seen the present perfect before. So today we're going to focus on using the present perfect to talk about time.
Yes, so we can use I have been with for and since. For example, I could say, I've lived in Vancouver for 10 years now.
And that would mean you started living here 10 years ago.
Yes, and I still live here. When we use for, we use the amount of time, and when we use since, we use the specific date or year.
So I could say, I've been sick for a week, or I could say, I've been sick since last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So Paul is having some trouble, and John is a little surprised because he says, really? At university, you were always so social.
Yes, he was social. He liked to meet people. He liked to talk to them, and he liked to spend time with them.
Yes. So we use this word social all the time. If someone is very social, like you said, they like to meet other people. They don't like to stay home alone. They might even be a social butterfly.
Yeah, a social butterfly spends time with a lot of different people, right? They hang out in many different groups.
Yeah, they have a very good social life.
Yes. Now here we're using the adjective, but you could also use the verb to socialize, and that means just to talk to other people. Now when you're in university, it's often easy to socialize, but it can be a little bit difficult at work.
Yeah, and that's how it is for Paul. He says, at work, I'm actually really shy.
So when you're shy, you're a little bit uncomfortable and nervous. And when you start a new job, it's very, very natural for someone to be shy when talking to others.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of social, but being shy is usually just in the beginning. Sometimes I find shy people can actually be really talkative after they get to know you.
Exactly, they totally can. They can become more outgoing. Okay, so Paul is shy, but John says you could try having more conversations with your coworkers.
Yeah, so conversation, this is a really long word and it just means talk.
Yeah, exactly. And we usually say have conversations with someone. For example, you can have a conversation with a friend. You can have a conversation with your boss. You could have a conversation with anyone.
Yeah, even in our lessons, we call these dialogues, but a dialogue is just a type of conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we can use this as a verb too, to converse, but it's pretty formal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the last time I said converse to my friend.
Yeah, maybe you'll use it in a formal presentation. For example, more people need to converse at work.
So John gives this good advice, but Paul says, they have tried to include me, but I never know what to say.
Okay, so if you try to include someone, you try to invite them to join your conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It has this sense of adding somebody or adding a thing.
Yeah, so at work, we usually try to include everyone in the meetings. We want to include them in the conversations and the activities.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, sometimes my older brother didn't include me in the fun things with his friends, and I was a little sad.
Often big kids don't want to include their younger brothers.
Oh, so that's kind of sad. But John, he's a positive guy. He has some more advice. He says, then how about a meetup? You can meet people who share common interests with you.
Okay, this is a great way to meet other people, especially people, like we said, who share common interests. So common means that something is the same in a lot of places or for a lot of people.
Yeah, like a common name is John or
Yes.
Paul. They are very famous common names.
They are. And today you guys are learning a lot of common vocabulary words and phrases in this lesson.
Yes, and we also have this phrase, have something in common, meaning you share it. You both have the same thing.
Yeah, and when people have a lot in common, often they have similar interests or common interests.
Yes, exactly. So interests here is not an adjective, it's a noun. You can have an interest, and basically it just means hobby.
Yeah, things you like to do. For example, Connor and I both like hiking and camping, so we share a common interest.
This is a really common word, and actually it's a lot more common than the word hobby.
It is. Now, we can also use this as a verb. For example, if I meet someone at a meetup, I can say, what interests you?
Well, I can tell you, that doesn't interest me.
Yeah, exactly. So you can use it as a verb too. Now, it seems like Paul is interested in the meetups, so he says, do I need to sign up to participate?
Right. So sign up is when you want to join an event or an activity. You have to, usually sign your name or apply. You basically tell them, I want to do this activity.
Yeah, I want to join. So we sign up for clubs, we sign up for classes. We can also sign up for an email or a bank account.
Exactly. Yeah. And just be careful of the past tense here. It's signed up. So for example, I signed up to participate in an event.
Okay, so that brings us to our next word here, sign up to participate. To participate means to join an activity. You don't just watch and listen.
Yes, exactly. Now this is very similar to sign up, but participate is actually doing it. Sign up is first, then you can participate.
And at work, they always want people to participate more. For example, if you participate in a meeting, you don't just listen, you also talk and ask questions.
Yeah, and people can participate too much in a meeting, then meetings get too long.
That's true. But events like meetups are always a lot more fun if there are more participants, right? And if everyone is participating.
Yeah, lots of good participation. That's the noun form of that word. Right, so John answers his question. They're usually pretty informal events.
Yeah, and this often makes it more comfortable too. So when something is informal, it's not formal, it's casual. So you can wear jeans and a t-shirt.
Right, we often talk about informal when we talk about English words, like talk is informal, conversation is a formal word.
Yeah, exactly. So that's informal language. But as I said before, we often use it to talk about clothing. So it's lucky when we get to wear informal clothing at work.
Yeah, and especially at informal events, you can probably wear informal clothing.
Yeah. So an event is like a big gathering. A meeting is an event. A birthday can be an event, or maybe a concert.
Events happen in all kinds of shapes and forms and ways. And in this case, we're talking about these meetups. That's also an event. And John says, I'm sure you could just show up.
Yeah. Now, when you show up, you arrive or you come to an event or place, often without telling anyone.
Yeah, the important thing with this phrasal verb is that it's unexpected. For example, I was at my party and my ex-girlfriend showed up. I didn't expect that. Get out of here.
Yeah. And also with these events too, right? You don't need to sign up. You can just show up.
Yeah. You don't need to tell anybody. You just go. And we can also use it in a negative way. If I have a date and if she doesn't come, I could say, "Whoa, I waited for her for an hour, but she never showed up."
Oh, no. Well, hopefully she just had some work to do. You know what? This sounds like a good idea to me, though, going to a meetup where you can just show up. But Paul says, I don't know, maybe they won't like me. Maybe they'll think I'm boring.
Oh, I think Paul needs some extra confidence. John says, no way, just go and be yourself.
Yeah, this is great advice to give your friends. To be yourself means don't try to be a different person.
Yeah, just do things, just be who you want to be.
Yeah, you don't want to just show off, right? You really just want to be yourself at these events.
Exactly. Well, it sounds like some really good advice from John. There's a lot of really good advice here for making new friends. It is really hard if you're not a social person, if you're a shy person.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what's great about these meetups, because there are actually many different kinds of meetups with many different kinds of people. And it's really easy to find people who share common interests with you.
Exactly. All right, we would like to know from our listeners, do you find it hard to make new friends? And what advice do you think is the best for making new friends?
Yeah, please let us know in the comments and we'll look forward to reading them. Thanks for listening, guys.
Talk to you later.
See you then.